Relations between China and Africa have come under the spotlight during an interactive session at the University of South Africa in Pretoria. Former President Thabo Mbeki defended China's massive development assistance package, which has been described as a form of colonialism and that of little benefit to Africa.
Last year, China pledged $60 billion in financing for projects in Africa. The outreach was geared towards building trade, investment and political ties with a continent seen as dejected. While some welcomed the investment, others labeled it a debt trap that has evoked fears of new colonialism. But China says there's nothing to fear.
You worry about China, we come here to colonialize again. I have to tell you, both Africa and China are the victim of colonialism. We understand very well. First, China will never colonialize, never launch the war against any country in the world. So that means those aggression, colonialism is not in our DNA.
A declaration which defined the nature of the relationship between China and the African countries was tabled in Beijing in 2007. It preceded the one signed during the last Forum on China-Africa Cooperation last September. But implementation of these agreements remain a challenge.
I am saying we have a mechanism to govern the relations between Africa and China. Why then are we allowing ourselves to be recolonized if we are being recolonized? It's dereliction of duty on our part. I'm saying that there are signed agreements about how the relations between China and Africa must be structured. Why are we not implementing?
Mbeki says there's a need for strong institutions to ensure implementation.
One of our challenges on the African continent is we don't have a strong enough institution to ensure the implementation of that agreement. This is an all-Africa agreement between Africa and China. And therefore, obviously, you need a strong AU. You need a strong African Union to make sure that this agreement is implemented.
The former president says due to imbalances in the power relations, South Africa often examined any contract agreement China concludes with any African country. He added that this was done so as to avert the development of anti-Chinese sentiment on the African continent. Mulimo Onemoto, SABC News, Pretoria.